Then we have our third piece here. Now this piece here, I wasn't too long at DCU, working in DCU, and they have what's called seed funding. So for people who haven't got a doctorate, they put out this tender from time to time, say, well, if you want to apply for this, we'll give you funding to do a piece of research, and hopefully that'll lead on to a doctorate or whatever. So they just kind of encourage you to move on up the ladder, if you want to call it that. And it was carried out with all service users. Two of them from the Irish Housing Network, work for the Irish Housing Network. And what we were interested in there was what are people's perceptions, experiences of the relationship between a professional and themselves. And interestingly enough, what came out of that was actually what people wanted, because we asked people, give us some bad experiences of interactions with staff in all sorts of different places. Give us some good experiences of interactions with staff, and tell us what should it really look like in an ideal world. And what came through was Rogerian. Basically, people wanted empathy, they wanted congruence, they wanted positive self-regard. It was a really simple combination. And then we thought about that, and then we thought, well, that's really interesting, because Rogers was one of the first persons to term that as person-centeredness. If you've heard that. What has person-centeredness turned into in today's terms? A kind of managerial speak, where the person's at the centre and you have to centre the service around the person. One of the concerns we have about that there is that sometimes we wrap the services so tight round their person, so central that they can't get out of the service. But we believe we have actually lost the whole concept of person-centeredness from its original term, and that's what is happening between the relationships. It's getting in the way, actually, all this kind of formality and managerial speak. So there were our kind of findings in our research, and I should say regarding that one, we run 3 focus groups for that particular one, and I think there were something like 26 people involved or something. There might be more, 30, or maybe not around 30 or something like that. What we thought we would also speak about before we go on to our last 2 slides, because our last slides are actually what we're doing at the minute regarding a piece of research, which isn't user-led, but it is kind of very much user-involved in it. Is just to talk very briefly about some of the perceptions and reactions from some of the services within Ireland when we presented our findings. And I think this is actually quite common with user-led research when you present it to professionals and academics and all the rest. Quite often you do see it as biased. You're starting with a negative premise. It's quite often what they would say to you, you've had your own bad experience in services, now you want to go out and find other people who've had their own bad experiences. Therefore your research isn't up to much. It's negatively oriented, which is what I'm basically saying there, it's kind of, you're looking for all the bad things about services, but not so much the good things. The methodology is really weak. They pick holes in it quite often. Whereas in effect, when you look at their own piece of research, you can pick holes in them as well, if you really want to. And ethically questionable. Should service users be interviewing other service users? That's quite often the question as well. Vulnerable people, interviewing vulnerable people.
What type of insurance have you got to carry out the
Well,
research?
that's another one's come to us. Yeah, absolutely. And reactions. Defensiveness and disregard. Basically, staff quite often are defensive. They don't want to hear this couldn't be right. We don't want to address this, etc., etc. And disregard, that's all the stuff from the perceptions needs to end the disregard, but we're not going to take this seriously. Now, I'm not saying this is just within Ireland. I do know that it happens in a lot of places. Even we were in Boston and we visited a user-led group in Boston who carried out lots of research and they had similar experiences to ourselves. And this is just to be honest, perception, reactions, experience are not universal, because there's a lot of academics and a lot of professionals who carry out research, and they get similar. If the staff or if services don't like what they hear, they get similar reactions as well. So it's not just us, so we can't just say it applies to us. So we're sympathetic to other people as well. This is our piece now, and I want to talk through some of this, Paddy, which is a huge piece, to be honest. We don't get done in quite a short time, we must admit, but I think we're on track anyway.
We've been asked, in partnership with Amnesty Ireland, has asked us in DCU to carry out a piece of research around discrimination and it's funded by Amnesty, and it's a participatory action research. And we're in the process of training and skilling up 10 people who have used mental health services and becoming interviewers. And ideally they come from geographical clusters all over the country, and the idea is that once it's trained up and the project starts, is that they'll go out, recruit the people that they're going to do the interviews with, and build a support network with them around gaining information and gaining the piece of work for the research, so that because we're trying to get aiming for 600 interviews. We need to get 600 people in for the interview to give it weight. We have developed a draft questionnaire with the people that are doing the questions, the 10 people we're training, and around structured and semi-structured and structured interviews. And we need approximately 570 interviews using the finalised questionnaire, and the deadline is April 2010, and what date's today? Panic is on.
So this is our research at the minute. Funded by Amnesty, participatory action research. So it's not pure user-led research. You can call it collaborative research. I mean, at the start, there has been user involvement at the start in designing it in the form of Paddy, myself, and then we've obviously extended that out to the interviewers who come from certain areas of Ireland who we want to have a good representative from Ireland. These are the challenges we have experienced already, some of them, and some of them we expect. Gaining ethical approval was quite difficult, we must say, and we're not trying to blacken the name of any university, because I've come across this in different universities as well. In fact, when I did the other piece I was talking about, that I got the seed funding for, on looking at the patient and professional relationship, one of the first questions back from the ethics committee was, should we have service users actually interviewing service users? That's one of the big questions they had. Same thing here again. But we have got ethical approval. But can't say it's very easy, and we have to be honest about that. And one of the things I don't think sometimes we can blame people there, because it's new to people. They've never heard of this before, they've never seen it before. And it's a challenge to them to actually start accepting and thinking about this.
But the funny thing about it is, if we step back a bit in time, under the old health board structure that used to be there, if we go back to the earlier pieces of work we were talking about, we had no bother with ethical approval. Absolutely no bother at all. The stuff went in, you went in and done your piece, and there were some arguments around it, but you walked out the door one day, you had your ethical approval, and away you went. This piece of work here has been put on for a long period of time, back and forward from ethics committees. And it seems to be something that's occurring more and more right across the spectrum. So it's I would have questions around ethics and where we're heading with it, and the dangers that are going to come down the line if we keep carrying on the process. Namely, one of them, I know a group of GPs that are trying to do a piece of work at the minute, and they're being asked, well, how could you ask and these are around their own patients, how could you ask your own patient questions? Are you indemnified that if anything goes wrong? And there's a minefield of nonsense starting to come through in ethics.
I should say what we've done with the service users. We shouldn't call them services, they're just people with mental health problems, you'd say, because some of them actually haven't used traditional mental health services, but they've all had their own mental health problem. But we've spent 2 days with them in DCU, training them up to become interviewers. We only spent yesterday again there what we would call supervision. So we're periodically throughout the whole piece of research, we will be meeting with them to ensure everything's okay and all the rest, and where are you with your research, many people in the field, etc., supporting them. Paddy and myself here, as services on this research team, are the main support, promotion or whatever else for the people who are carrying out the research or doing the interviews. So yeah, that's how we're kind of rolling that out at the minute. The other second challenge is managing the budget to ensure equity across payments. And this is the issue that was talked about earlier on, people on benefits, etc. I don't know how much I can really say about what we're doing, what we're trying to do at the minute. We're looking for different ways of ensuring people get payment. We did say to them, for instance, that they would get paid €15 an hour for the work. But we have to look at ways around it. As I said, I don't want to go into details of it, but we're looking at kind of ways of loopholes and all sorts of things to ensure that people get their payment.